Hello, this is Justice, and this is my recording to the Unit 3 Diversity Podcast Reflections. The main thing that the podcast covered were different diversities within school districts and how students of one race, one class group, one social class, and other defining factors played a huge role into what style of education they were able to not only gain, but also part of. For me, as I was listening through the podcast, especially for the first one, there was a lot of emotion that was tied to that. The individual students that were looked at as if they were a problem and being pushed into this new school and were just looked down upon really hurt me. It was really sad to not only hear that, but think that that's actually something that someone had to go through. For example, when we were hearing from other parents who were saying that they didn't want these students to come over from those other schools because they would bring crime and they would bring lower test scores, and people were afraid for their own child's safety without even knowing these individuals. Yes, there was some allegations and claims made that it was all discipline related, but on the contrary, that wasn't the case for some of these students. And on the other side, completely within the second podcast, you hear students that are eager to learn about a new culture. Like we were talking about in the Yellow Dig discussions, everyone seems to have a different story. And truly, if you hear it from our students, most of the students would like to experience new races, new cultures, and feel accepted not only in their own school, but also to learn about others that they go to school with. That for me was really exciting, and the level of energy that was in the second podcast really boosted my own energy and my own excitement about education itself. For me, sharing this would be very high on the priority list, as all students deserve a fair and equal chance at education, whether it is working at one school that was a little bit lower class and focusing more attention there, or taking students from those higher schools and creating a buddy system in which they work together to help boost not only each individual student's test scores, but the overall school's atmosphere and the way they're performing overall. The topic was very emotionally challenging. There were different feelings that I felt throughout the course of it, and it was kind of hard to put aside some of those feelings that were my own personal feelings to those that other individuals that were involved, like the parents who were concerned with the other students coming, as well as the other parents who were concerned that their students weren't getting the proper education, and understanding that everybody has their own views. For myself, that was one of the biggest challenges, I think, with this. But overall, I really enjoyed reading this or listening to this, and I probably will listen to these podcasts again in the future just for my own knowledge and continue to understand different diversities in schooling as well as in schooling and in education.